Okay, so for the second piece of this here, the action piece, I wanted to ask you, so in your momentum accountability program, there's emphasis there, right, on kind of tracking action and being held accountable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you make this work as a coach in your program in terms of action? So you mentioned when we were talking before about coaches who, kind of give a ton of homework and then people feel stressed out and they don't feel super great about themselves. So how do you balance holding people accountable without making them feel terrible because they didn't get anything done?
Yeah, I have a process around it. And I ask people to show up as you are, show up if you got the work done, show up if you didn't get the work done, because no matter what, you're going to learn something from it. If you didn't get the work done, let's look at it. Is your schedule too full? Is it the wrong work? Are you ill? Like, should you be doing something else? Do you need a break? There's a lot we can learn if you're not reaching your goals, and understand that and set you up for better success. So we're just constantly asking questions about what's going on. For my upper level clients, I literally check in with them on a daily basis. Like every single day I show up in their inbox and ask them, what are you focusing on today? What support do you need? What's coming up for you? How did this project go yesterday? And we're just talking about it. So we're doing that process constantly. On a monthly basis, everybody that I work with is reflecting and reviewing what they've done. So we look at both personal and business, and we say what went well, what worked personally and in business, what didn't personally and in business, and then we envision the next 30 days. And beyond that, we then look at what did we learn from that in whole experience of reflection, and what are we going to bring into our current reality, and what might get in the way of creating what we're creating, and where do we need to move into next in order to move forward. And I make it easy to follow this because these were just steps that I used, and then I have a planner. Like, this isn't your to-do list kind of planner, there's no dates on it, but we follow this same exact process, and you have the opportunity to just constantly be asking yourself questions. There's an educator, Carol Dweck, well, psychologist, I think, Carol Dweck, who talks about mindset and a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. It's gotten a lot of attention in many different circles. So you can easily Google it and look for more information on it. But this really falls into that growth mindset of always seeing every experience as a learning opportunity. And I think what I see and why people will often fall short of their expectations and perhaps the expectations of the coach is because you have people who are visionary, who are constantly thinking of new ideas and creative ways to solve problems, and then you put them in this box and you're like, okay, but all I need you to do is check these things off. That's, so we started with toss that to-do list, right? So right. They need a place to be able to explore these ideas and decide, does this one help me move towards my vision? Yes, no. Should I continue on this path? Should I change direction? Is this just a squirrel that's diverting my attention, or is it worth exploring farther? Like all of that. So there's got to be this sort of constant conversation and curiosity around what you're doing. And then the accountability is simply like showing up to continue that conversation, to be curious, to ask questions, to learn and see where it takes you. If you don't have somebody to be accountable to ask you those questions, then grab the planner. Like, it's really easy. Just grab the planner and use that as a way to ask those questions to yourself.
Man, maybe that's my problem. And I don't have anybody holding me accountable. Maybe that's my problem. It's just me. So you've been successful at 2 businesses now, at least 2. And what do you think has made you such a successful coach in an industry where so many coaches in any category are struggling to stand out. In addition to all the Facebook and Instagram ads I get for, social media and software and things like that, I see a ton for coaches. And on LinkedIn, there are a ton of coaches that add me on LinkedIn because I'm sure they want to fix me or whatever. But because you do stand out, first of all. So you do stand out. So I'm just wondering what you think has allowed you to just shine the way that you do.
Thank you. Because I don't always realize that I'm standing out. So that's awesome. I think it goes back actually to my work as a professional organizer and why that worked, like why what we were doing at that time worked and why my company gained recognition for the work that we were doing. When I would hire new organizers, I would ask them this very specific question. I would say, look, you've just walked into the home of a new client or potential client, and I just want you to tell me what you see. And so a large number of the people that I interview would tell me the house was a mess, there were piles of laundry, there was stuff everywhere, and they would describe the space. And the people that I hired talked to me about the person. And they said, there's a person and they feel really overwhelmed and they're trying to figure it out and they want to change and they just don't know how. And so if you pass that litmus test of distinguishing the project from the person, then you passed on to the next step in my hiring process, and I would consider you. And I think the same is true here. You have a lot of coaches, and there's nothing wrong with this, because I just want to say there's someone and something for everyone. So even my flavor may not be the right flavor for you. Like it's okay, and I'm okay with that. But I do see where a lot of coaches are really amazing, or consultants, of like creating plans, and they're very meticulous and strategic, but they don't know how their clients are thinking, and they don't understand how to bring them along on the process. They don't see that person standing in the room, the business clutter of all the things going on, just feeling really overwhelmed and wanting somebody to see them. I had a recent client of mine say that she'd worked with other coaches before, and working with me was the first time that she felt seen. And that really touched me as a coach and as a human being, because that's the first step. Like that should always be the first step, is to know and understand that person sitting in front of you and what they're specifically struggling with. From there, you can see if you were even the right person to help them solve that particular problem. But I think that that kind of person first mentality has helped me to stand out. And also that I really, really do care about each of the people that I'm working with. And I feel like it comes across in how I speak to my audience and those that are listening. And I try and reach out. Like folks who work with me know you're not going to escape. Sorry. Like they know that if they disappear, I'm like, hey, I noticed you were not around. Tell me what's going on. Is everything okay? And it's okay if we're not working together. I just want to know that you're okay and you get what you need.
Okay. Well, so I feel like now this is our third segment, and I mean, for anybody who's listened to all three, and I hope that there's plenty who do, I feel like, because even me now, I'm kind of like, how can I get a little bit of the Nettie pie? How can I get a slice of this? So you mentioned the planner. Is that something that you sell on your website?
So yes, and I need a better method for that. But if you are interested, I would honestly just say reach out to me and say, I want a planner, because I don't have a fabulous sales page for that. It's kind of in the works. I'm about to say it's on the to-do list.
Are there any, I mean, on your website, do you have any other, downloadables or any
Yeah,
offers that you're running
absolutely.
right now? Because I want to make sure that, anything, especially anything that anybody could use to kind of get to know you better and know your process a bit better, so like I said, I mean, I'm already going to be digging through your website.
Yeah,
I dug
yeah.
through it a
So
little bit already. I got to dig some more.
one of the easiest ways, and this is a great way to just like jump right into the soup and get something super valuable. I have a catchword, and I think people are going to start seeing these more and more. But basically, what you do is you text the word freedom to the number 411321. And when you do that, you get my ebook, which is called The Roadmap to Freedom, which talks about like how to do this visioning, how to understand your mission, how to understand who you are in your business, set up systems, time management, organization. It goes through all of this. And once you do that, there's an invitation if you would like to have a conversation with me and explore, whatever you've got going on. I'm happy to hop on the phone and talk to you about that. So that's the easiest way, I think,
Wow.
to get in touch with me and to get something that you can use right away, like right in your hands immediately.
Fantastic. So you said that's called the Roadmap to Freedom?
Roadmap to Freedom. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. And yeah, that'll for sure be in the show notes. That is fantastic. Actually, I think you're the first person I've met who has, you called it a catchword?
A catchword. Yep.
Catchword. Wow. Okay. That I wasn't sure where that was going, if I'm being honest. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cool thing. And another, like, check this out for other entrepreneurs. It's a great way to provide instant value, like real value to your ideal client, in a way that's not spammy and doesn't just automatically set you into. I know we're all afraid of like giving our email and phone number and all this kind of stuff away, but this is a really good way to reach your ideal customer. So I would encourage you guys to check it out.
that is awesome.